Saya telah menghabiskan waktu hidup saya untuk mempelajari hal ini. Jadi tolong dengarkan saya baik-baik. Tidak ada obat. Dan tidak ada vaksin.
Jadi apa yang harus kami lakukan, Bu?
In 2003, inside a shop in Jakarta, Indonesia, military officers are directed to a woman who's dining alone and take her with them. In the car, she asks if they're sure they have the right person, to which Lieutenant General Hidayat replies, yes, saying she's Dr. Ratna Pertiwi, a professor of mycology at the University of Indonesia. She's led to a hospital, where she's then asked to observe a prepared specimen in the lab. After a look, she identifies that it's 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐲, but she's confused as to how they prepared the slide. When the general explains the sample came from a human, Ratna is in disbelief, as 𝐒𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐲 cannot survive inside humans. Later, after donning a hazard suit, she enters a room to inspect a dead body of a woman. After she's directed by Hidayat to look at the bottom of the corpse's left leg, Ratna observes a human bite mark on the limb. Taking a pair of forceps, she opens the corpse's mouth and pulls out moving strands, spooking the doctor, who then exits from the room hurriedly. Afterward, she's told the body was discovered 30 hours ago in a flour and grain factory, which is a perfect substrate for the fungi. Hidayat reveals the woman suddenly became violent and bit 4 co-workers, who trapped her in a bathroom. When the police arrived, they had to shoot her. And later, the co-workers who were bit also had to be executed because they became violent. After hearing that they have no idea who bit her and that 14 other co-workers are missing, Dr. Ratna trembles. After revealing there's no medicine or cure for the cordyceps infection, she suggests bombing the city, leaving no one alive, before crying in grief. In the present, Ellie wakes up and sees that her 2 adult companions are wary of her. When Joel demands to see her arm, she shows them her healed bite from 3 weeks ago. And after some questioning from Tess, the girl reveals that Marlene found her after she was bitten. For many days, the Fireflies observed her, realizing she wasn't turning into a monster. During a private talk with Tess, Joel wants to abandon the mission, fearing they'll get infected by the girl. But Tess tells him Ellie is their best shot at getting the battery. Afterward, Tess asks the girl why she's so important to Marlene. And though reluctant at first, Ellie reveals there's a Firefly base camp somewhere out west with doctors who are working on a cure, and whatever happened to her might be the key to finding a vaccine. As Joel is done believing that there could ever be a cure, he tells Tess the mission isn't going to end well, but his partner insists on just finishing the job to get what they want. Outside, Ellie marvels at what she sees, having never stepped outside the 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐲 before. While the 3 of them traverse the bombed and dilapidated city of Boston, Tess asks the girl how she got bitten, and she reveals it's when she snuck alone inside a boarded-up mall inside the 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐲. While Ellie suspected there would be swarms of infected just waiting to attack them, they come across none so far, though they do hear a disturbing shriek. After entering a hotel, they come across some rubble that Tess has to climb over to check the other side of the street, and while waiting for her to return, Ellie asks Joel personal questions which he avoids answering. However, when the girl asks how long an infected person lasts, he answers that some last about a month or 2, while others have been walking around for 20 years. Upon returning, Tess shows them the horde of infected on the street, where they were planning to pass. When Ellie observes that they're connected, Tess reveals that the fungus also grows underground, its fibers stretching for miles. Stepping on a patch of cordyceps in one place means waking dozens of infected somewhere else, who will then know the person's location, and Tess reminds Ellie that she isn't immune from being ripped apart. The 2 adults then lead Ellie to another route in a museum, where the fungus inside is dried up. However, when they come across a fresh corpse, the 2 smugglers become alarmed, and Joel instructs Ellie to be silent from then on. After entering a room, the ceiling outside crashes, attracting the attention of a clicker, an infected who can't see, but still hear. The 3 of them wait for it to leave, but Ellie's scared gasp alerts the clicker of their presence. While Joel fights it, another clicker appears and chases after Tess and Ellie, before the two of them get separated. Though Joel manages to escape the first clicker and find Ellie, the sound of crunching glass beneath his feet catches its attention. Thankfully, he kills it, and after Tess distracts the second one, Joel shoots the last clicker. They discover that Ellie got bit again, and while Joel patches up Tess's twisted ankle, he comments the girl might turn this time, but Tess doesn't want to hear any more negativity. Afterward, they continue their journey, and upon reaching the meetup point at the State House, they find it deserted. After Joel finds some fireflies dead by the truck, Tess brings Ellie inside the building, where they find more dead bodies. Joel figures one of them got bit, which ended badly for the whole group. As Tess grows frantic looking for a map to a firefly camp where they can bring Ellie next, Joel tells her to stop, as their mission is over. But then the girl realizes Tess is infected. Tess shows them her bite mark, comparing it to Ellie's and proving that the girl is indeed immune. She makes Joel promise to take Ellie to the fireflies as a penance for all the wrongdoing they did. Suddenly, one of the dead bodies moves, and though Joel kills the infected, the fungus underground alerts the infected horde of their location. Preparing for the inevitable, Tess starts knocking barrels of gasoline onto the ground and throwing grenades on the floor, before urging Joel to save who he can save. Just as he and Ellie leave, the horde enters the building, and while Tess struggles to ignite the whole place, an infected notices her. He approaches her, connecting their mouths, and finally, Tess manages to ignite the gasoline and blow up the building. Outside, Joel and Ellie watch the fire before Joel turns away, leaving Ellie grappling with shock.